Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another first Descendant video. So with episode 3 of season 3 starting soon, I wanted to go over some of the important gameplay settings that you need to know of if you are a new or a returning player, and this will make your life a lot easier. You'll get a lot more information. You will also declutter your screen. Your teammates will be able to see better and things like that. So this is, again, like I said, all about the options. So what I'll do is I'll quickly show you the options here that I have and then explain a few of the important ones here. So I'll just slowly scroll down here so you can see the options I'm using, and then I'll go over some of the important ones. Okay, so first up, let's start with this one here, display setting, show explosion effect during combat. Now, when you are starting the game or you're playing normally, this will be on show all targets. This can be very blinding when you're using the rocket launcher. Now, they have recently reduced the visual effects, so it's not as bad as it used to be, but it still can be visually distracting. So this is how the explosion effects look in the game. And when you're fighting at a bunch of enemies, you can see it gets very difficult to see where you are shooting with all the damage numbers, the element damage, the explosions, and things like that. Now imagine you have 3 other teammates with the same rocket launcher doing the same thing. It becomes impossible to see. And like I said, this has been reduced recently. So you can imagine how bad it was. So the first setting here is to hide the explosion effects on all targets. This is the setting we use. So now what happens is when you fire, there are no explosions. It's easier. You still have all the damage numbers, but at least there are no explosions blinding you. Okay, so that is your first setting. Next is again related to the same thing, and that is the damage numbers. So over here in the damage display options, we have display damage on screen. If there are too many numbers and it's a bit too cluttered for you, you're not enjoying it, you can turn this off and it'll make your life a lot easier. So once again, we shoot at these enemies. You can see there are no damage numbers, no explosions. It's much easier to see where you're shooting. Okay, so this is the second option. Now, I personally leave these on because most of the time I'm working on some build or something. So I want to see how much damage I'm doing. So I keep these on. Another thing is the show HP and shield values. So over here, you see where you see the red bar, 30,365. That is the HP for Glay with my build right now. The shield section above that is blanked out because Glay doesn't have shields. So you want to be able to see this. Now, I've seen some people don't tend to have this on. Again, personal preference, but I like to see how much HP and shield I have. So if you turn this off, you won't see the HP there. But yeah, like I said, I like to see how much HP I have, especially when I'm trying out different builds and things like that. I forget sometimes I have a different setup without increased HP module or something like that. And similarly, you have various other things like status effects, skill damage details, weapon damage details. I tend to have all of these on, again, because I want to see what's going on with the damage. Now, the next useful thing is the cooldown number. So I'll be pressing the third skill, the V, and notice the cooldown numbers there. So 3, 2, 1. This shows you the timer, let's say, for the cooldown when your skill will be available again. So once again, for this one, we go down into the control method, and over here, skill cooldown details. So keep this on so you'll know when your skill will be available, how long it takes, things like that. Very useful little thing. After this, they've added another option, and this is specific to 1 or 2 descendants. So let's get Viesa here. Now, Viesa, her 4th skill is a skill where you manually place your ultimate. So over here, once again, in the control method, you have this option here, instant cast mode. So when I switch this off, you can see I have to sort of place my skill carefully and activate this. Now, this can be a bit difficult and annoying when you're running through hundreds of enemies and you have to constantly wait and place it carefully. So what they've done is they've added this instant cast mode, where basically wherever your crosshair is pointing, they will cast their skill there. So this applies to a few skills for a few descendants. So now You see that red circle, that is my crosshair. Now I do this and it will instantly cast your skill. So very handy, especially for VSA, Valby, Enzo, and a few other people. I can't remember right now. Okay, so next up, again, this circular thing, you see that crosshair with the round, that is basically the grapple correction. So there are various grapples that you can use. So if you were to use something like this, maybe it's a bit harder to see. So yeah, again, this is again a personal preference thing. I tend to use this one here because it's easier, helps you with the grapple as well, and also just helps with the aiming as well, for me at least. Now, another recent addition is the range of your options on various things like external components, reactors, modules, and things like that. So, for example, over here, where you see the two options, skill critical hit damage, you'll see it says in the brackets 22.8 to 33%. So it will give you the range of your options. And this will help you figure out if you got a really good one or not. For example, with the Ancestors module over here, it's very handy for this one. And this is when they added this option as well. So because you cannot re-roll individual options here, for example, I have chill skill power boost ratio of 0.281. If you see the range, it is 0.122 to 0.463. So it's sort of somewhere in the middle, which is decent, but not ideal. All of them are basically sort of in the middle. So this will give you an idea of where you are in terms of the options. Now, over in the gameplay section, in the options, if you go down here to display option range, if you turn this off, and if you look at this now, it doesn't show you the ranges in the brackets. It's much cleaner, but you have no idea how close you are to the maximum option or not. So I tend to keep that on, helps me figure out if my mod is good or not. So once again, in the options, go all the way down and select display option range. Now, next up, we have some cosmetic related things. So let's get Serena. So as you know, Serena has wings. So if you go into customize, this option here, show unique cosmetics. So some Descendants have unique cosmetics. So if you want to see the unique cosmetics, you can enable them. Or if you find them too distracting and taking up too much space, you can go into the customize Descendant and then hide them. So this way, they won't be in the way and distracting you. So you also have people like Jaber and Sharon with the jaw plates, let's say. So Sharon here, you can see with her, she will have these jaw plates if you enable this. So yeah, so if you prefer with or without this, it's your choice. Now, annoying thing is when you go into cutscenes, these cosmetics pop up. You cannot hide them in the cutscenes. So yeah, I wish we could, select them for the cutscenes as well. So yeah, try the cutscenes and see, even when you have this disabled, you'll still see the jaw plates. Anyway, these are some of the settings I think that you should know of, especially the explosion effects, the cooldown numbers and things like that. But yeah, just wanted to mention this for any new players or returning players. Hopefully this was useful. Thank you for watching. See you next time.